Okay, let's be real for a second. You see the words literature review on a syllabus and your heart kind of sinks, right? It sounds like this huge, boring chore. But what if I told you it's not about just summarizing a giant pile of articles? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the literature review. We're going to demystify it and show you how to transform it from a summary into a powerful argument that actually makes your own research way, way better.
So you've got the assignment, and your first thought is probably, ugh, it just sounds so vague, so academic, and honestly a little intimidating. What are you even supposed to do? What is a literature review, really?
Here is the absolute most important mindset shift you need to make. A lit review is not a book report. It's not a list. It is an argument. You are building a case, piece by piece, using existing research as your evidence. And the case you're building is to prove that your own research question is important, that it's necessary. You're not just watching from the sidelines. You're actually stepping into the conversation.
So how in the world do we do that? Well, here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why this whole thing even matters. Then we'll get crystal clear on what a lit review is and what it isn't. After that, we dive into the practical stuff, building a pre-writing plan, the nitty-gritty of searching for sources, and finally, how to craft it all into one cohesive, compelling story. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the why. Because before you can add your own brick to this big wall of knowledge, you have to understand how all the other bricks are already laid out, right? And that's exactly what a literature review is. It's the foundation for any solid research project. I want you to think of yourself as a kind of map maker, a cartographer, exploring a scholarly topic. You're out there identifying the major landmarks, the key themes, the big ideas. You're finding the borders where the experts disagree with each other. But most importantly, you are looking for the blank spots on the map, the uncharted territory, the gaps in knowledge, because that is where your research gets to live.
And this brings us to probably the biggest trap students fall into. To really nail this, you have to understand the difference between just summarizing stuff and building a true scholarly argument. So let's break down what a literature review is and, just as important, what it isn't. You see those two words right there? Integrated analysis. That's the secret sauce. You're not just listing summaries one after the other, like this person said this and then that person said that. No, you are weaving them together, showing how they talk to each other, and connecting everything back to your main research question. This chart just says it all, doesn't it? Forget being the person on the left just stacking up random facts. You are the person on the right. You're the detective, connecting all the clues on the evidence board, building this airtight case for why your own research absolutely needs to exist.
Okay. Theory is great, but let's get down to business. A great lit review doesn't start with you frantically reading a million articles. No way. It starts with a smart plan. Seriously, the work you do before you write a single sentence is going to make all the difference. These first two steps, they are your lifeline. I'm not kidding. Trying to review a topic like burnout in education is it's impossible. It's way too big. But focusing on something specific, like burnout in K-12 school leaders, now you've got clear boundaries. And your outline becomes your roadmap, guiding your search for evidence and keeping you from getting lost.
All right, you've got your focus, you've got your map. Now it's time to actually go out and find the evidence. But remember, this isn't just about collecting articles. It's about synthesizing them. It's about finding those hidden connections between them that are going to build your argument. The key here really is just to be organized and methodical. Use those headings from your outline as your keywords in the library database. And then, as you find articles, organize them right away. Don't just dump them into one giant folder called research. And that annotation table, that, my friends, is your secret weapon for making sense of everything. Seriously, creating a simple table like this is a total game changer. Why? Because it forces you to pull out the single most important finding from each source and, this is the crucial part, to think about how it connects directly to your study. This simple little task transforms these dense academic articles into clear data points that you can actually compare and work with. So as you're filling out your table, the real analysis starts to happen. You start seeing things. You're looking for patterns where different studies agree. You're looking for discrepancies where they clash. And most importantly, you're looking for the gaps. The gaps are those unanswered questions, the missing pieces of the puzzle. That's the space where your research can make a real, meaningful contribution.
And now we get to the final part, and honestly, the most rewarding part. You've got your plan, you've got your evidence, you've done your analysis. It's time to weave everything together into a single, cohesive story that presents your argument clearly and persuasively. This is a huge shift in how you probably write. Instead of starting a paragraph with something like, Parker and his colleagues found that, you're going to start with your own claim, your synthesis statement. For example, a recurring theme in the literature is the critical role that a lack of work/life balance plays in school leader burnout. See the difference? Then you use Parker's study as evidence for your point.
So, how do you make sure your paragraphs are actually analytical and not just summaries? Well, there's a really simple and super powerful framework for this, and it's called the meal plan. It is a fantastic tool for making sure every single paragraph is doing the work of building your argument.
Let's just break it down real quick. Every paragraph starts with M, your main idea, that's your claim. Then you bring in the E, the evidence from your sources, like those Parker and 10 studies we saw. Next comes A, your analysis, and this is the most important part. This is where you explain how that evidence proves your main point. And finally, L is the link that smoothly carries your reader to the next idea. If you follow this structure, your writing will be so much stronger and more synthesized. And just one final, crucial reminder about this whole process. Please, do not expect your first draft to be perfect. It won't be. Nobody's is. Your first draft is just about getting the ideas down on paper. The real magic happens when you revise. Good writing is rewriting, so make sure you build in time to go back, refine your argument, and really make it shine. So, look, if you take just one thing away from this explainer, I hope it's this. A literature review isn't about collecting facts. It's about creating knowledge. It's the process you use to understand the current conversation in your field so that you can find the perfect spot to add your own voice. And that right there is the whole point of this entire exercise. You've listened to the scholarly conversation, you've analyzed it, you've synthesized it. So the final question isn't just for your paper, it's for you. What important gap, what missing piece of the puzzle will your research be the one to fill?